There's a lot of troll videos on YouTube where it will say something like, maybe, listen to this, anyways, where the title will be like, cute Kokichi moment, and then it will start playing. I woke up in bed. For some reason, it was very warm. It's great. I don't know if you want to be here, or you might want to mute me. So I'm gonna read a fanfiction to Marcus. Spoiler alert. This is gross. Taste this. It's not good. You might like it, but I can't. It's so. It's so gross. I don't like how they taste so clear, if that makes sense. It feels like it's like spring water. I don't like it. Were you about to say you didn't? Marcus, you here?
Mm-hmm.
You are okay. I'm gonna look it up, and we're gonna have a ball. I wonder if it's on Wattpad.
Oh my god, look, there's a fucking, yeah, I'm on Wattpad, there's one called Loop, Legion X Reader. Here, Legion is my favorite character from DBD, I don't care what players say, suck it. What the fuck is this? Best. Let's say favorite, not like best. What the fuck is this? Are these chapters? Oh my god, this is so bad. There was a new killer. No one knew who they were, only that this was their first. Oh my god, Rodon senses. I hated this place. I was pretty sure everyone did. No, I watched as black mist slowly fades off from around my feet, replaced by snow. I look up. First game of the killer. First game in new map. Shit. I head straight to the towering ski house. Grateful that I brought. Oh my god. I can't. This is so hard to read. I head straight to the towering ski house, grateful that I brought Bounds Landing. Now there just have to be a generator inside. When I enter, I find Dwight fumbling on a generator. He was probably shaking, unsure where or what the new killer was. Sure where or what the new killer was. His face flushes in relief as he sees me approach. I smile. Dwight was cute, but I try not to get too close to the survivors. Even still, Dwight and I were always close. Thank goodness you're here. Y-O-U-R.
I found it.
What?
This is definitely it.
The one that I'm reading right now?
No, the one I'm about to read to you. I don't know if I haven't really been paying attention to you. What have you been reading?
Wow, you know, no, I'm not reading it anymore.
No, what is it called?
Too bad. You
Okay.
hate, no. Wow, you just said okay, you never even try to fight it.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Okay, you want me to, let's, sit back, relax, and enjoy the piss.
I don't want it.
Yes, you do. Shoot. They spelled Shuichi's name wrong. I just like listening to them complain, Marcus. But anyways, are you ready?
No.
Good. Shuichi woke up at 3 in the morning to the curious sensation of something very warm and wet against his leg. He knew it was 3. I need to turn the brightness. He knew it was 3 because the alarm clock by his bed glowed bright in the dark, and it took him a shamefully long time to wake up enough to realize what had happened. It wasn't until Kokichi made a little sound in his sleep and shifted slightly against his side that it really hit him. Shuichi reached one hand under the blankets and felt around. Sure enough, there was a warm wetness seeping into his pajamas and the sheets. That couldn't be good for the mattress, he thought idly. I hate this. Further exploration proved that Kokichi's pajamas were soaked, and well, there was simply no doubt that the other boy had wet the bed, Shuichi's bed, on their very first night sharing a bed together. Carefully taking back his hand, he pondered his next course of action. Did he wake Kokichi up? Did he wait until morning? Eventually the pee was going to get cold and uncomfortable. And what if Kokichi still had to pee more? He drank a lot of Panta right before bed. Would he wet the bed even more if Shuichi didn't wake him? Was this a problem he usually had, or just a fluke? So many questions. Saihara? His decision was made for him as Kokichi sleepily cracked open his eyes. With a sigh, Shuichi leaned over and turned on the lamp. Kokichi flinched at the sudden light, filling the dark room, but after a few moments his expression changed. First was confusion, and then utter terror that Shuichi had never seen on Kokichi's face. Saihara, you wet the bed. Are you enjoying this, Marcus?
I hate it.
It was almost comical how the same boy who pretended as if he was some terrible criminal mastermind who had no shame now looked absolutely mortified. Considering the two of them had only just broken past all of their barriers and tentatively started a relationship, doing something so embarrassing must have really affected him. Shuichi wished he knew exactly what Kokichi was thinking, if only to know how to best comfort him. Kokichi sat up and threw back the blankets, revealing the puddle around him that had seeped into Shuichi's side. Kokichi's face was heavily flustered as he took in the damage. I can't breathe. Shuichi was almost impressed by how big a bladder such a small person like Kokichi must have. Saihara, I swear, I haven't wet the bed since I was a little kid. It wasn't even a thing I did a lot, I don't know why. It was then that Shuichi noticed two things. One, Kokichi's eyes looked awfully wet. Whenever he cried his crocodile tears, there was no build-up, so these looked real. And two, he was subtly fidgeting. Maybe it was because he was nervous, but there was that other possibility too. Oma, I believe you, and I'm not mad, really. But now I need you to be honest with me. Kokichi wouldn't meet his eyes as he nodded. Do you still need to pee? Huh? Shuichi gently grabbed Kokichi's chin and locked their gazes. Kokichi's breath went in shallow. Shuichi licked his lips. Yeah, I do. Isn't it pathetic, Saihara? I finally let you in, and you let me into your bed just for me to piss in it. And I still have to go. I'm the worst.
I fucking hate it. Stop.
Oh my god. You aren't, he insisted, cupping his hand against Kokichi's cheek and feeling the flustered skin beneath his hand. It was an accident, and I told you I'm not mad. I care about you, Oma, and this doesn't change that. But, Oma, if you still need to go, you should just finish right here. Whatever Kokichi had been about to say, it died as the words spilled from Shuichi's lips. He wasn't sure he'd ever seen Kokichi so flustered in his life. What? Saihara, you want me to? Shuichi nodded, his eyes glancing down to Kokichi's crotch. Kokichi's pajama pants were soaked, and he could make out Kokichi's yellow and pink striped underwear through the clinging fabric. He felt his...
What the fuck? I hate it.
He felt his cock twitch. He felt his cock twitch at the thought of Kokichi pressing them. I didn't know Saihara was so kinky. He giggled nervously as his face redder than Shuichi had ever seen it. Then slowly he nodded and closed his eyes. Shuichi watched with rapt attention as a little stream began to trickle out from the head of Kokichi's penis.
I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I do too. Then Kokichi made a small pain sound and let go. Shuichi almost moaned as he watched the piss pour out of his soaked clothing, drenching the bed even more than it already was. None of that mattered though, as Kokichi had a look of relief on his face. Shuichi couldn't help but crawl into his lap and kiss him deeply. Kokichi moaned beautifully into the kiss, and Shuichi could feel that he was still peeing. Now directly onto him as they kissed, his cock strained in his pajamas. He'd never been so turned on in his life. My dog's looking at me. He's just staring at me. What? This wasn't an aspect of himself he'd never realized existed, but he really couldn't deny it. Honestly, he didn't want to deny it. He wanted to make Kokichi feel better about the accident. He wanted to make Kokichi feel good. He reached into Kokichi's wet pants, palming him through his soaked underwear. Kokichi's bucked against his hand, moaning hungrily. Confident that his partner was enjoying this. He withdrew his hand and pushed Kokichi's clothes down past his hips, so his erection sprang free. His own clothing soon followed. And he grabbed both of their erections and stroked them with abandon. Kokichi's moans were surely loud enough to wake any light sleepers, but Shuichi was too gone to care. He kissed Kokichi as if his life depended on it, rubbing their cocks together, needing to be closer.
Ew, I fucking hate it.
He felt Kokichi shudder, and when he heard the breathy Shuichi that accompanied Kokichi's orgasm, Shuichi came as well, their cum mixing together to make the soiled bed even more of a mess. Shuichi held Kokichi tightly as they both came down from their high, kissing him gently and whispering little affectionate nothings in his ear. "You're so beautiful, Oma. You're so special to me. Stay with me, please. I need you."
Oh my god, this is so bad.
Unfortunately, it didn't take long for Shuichi to feel Kokichi shiver. The piss was cooling, and despite how turned on he'd been in the moment, the thought of sitting in cold urine wasn't exactly a pleasant thought. He slowly removed himself from Kokichi's lap and rolled off the bed. I was waiting for it, John. It rolled off the bed, stripping away his clothes and throwing them on the wet bed. Kokichi watched him. Was he really blushing at seeing Shuichi strip after what had just happened? How cute, Shuichi thought before catching on and doing the same. Once their dirty clothes were off, Shuichi dug around in his dresser and found 2 pairs of pants, putting them on himself and giving the other to Kokichi. I know they're too big, but they'll have to do until we can get to your room. I don't think we should risk roaming the halls naked. Though their legs were still wet, and there were still little splatters of cum on them. The late hour was starting to catch up to Shuichi, and Kokichi looked adorably sleepy as he pulled on the pants that were far too long for him. They could wash up in the morning. As for the bed, well, he didn't even want to think about that yet. Kokichi's bed would just have to do for the moment, right? Kokichi nodded, and Shuichi held out his hand. Kokichi stared at it for a moment before taking it, a small, genuine smile on his face. Hand in hand, they left Shuichi's bedroom for cleaner lodgings. And though he didn't have the nerve to mention it aloud, Shuichi wondered if he could find a plastic sheet anywhere. The end.
I hate you.
Took a nap